Hey you guys, I'm coming back with the second vision. I'm sorry that it kind of cut off abruptly on the first vision I shared, the first video. But I wanted to go ahead and share the second vision. I actually had this early this morning. This one really shook me. It really shook me. Um, I was in a car and I remember Michelle Obama was speaking with her daughter, Sasha, the youngest girl. And I remember as I was sitting in this car, I could see Michelle Obama having this conversation with her about some clothing that she had purchased. But Michelle Obama didn't know how she was able to purchase these clothes. There was a man that was sitting behind me, and at first I didn't know who this person was, but he had told Michelle Obama that he was the one who purchased the clothing for her. Well, it ended up where Michelle Obama and Sasha, they kind of left the scene. And then it showed where I was in the passenger seat, and I started hearing this conversation going on behind me in the back seat. And I remember they were having this discussion regarding shoes. I really don't know why, but this is what was going. It was almost like they were arguing. They were going back and forth. When I turned around, I noticed that my oldest son was in the back seat and he was part of the conversation. And then I realized that the person who was sitting directly behind me was Barack Obama. So it was Obama and my son having this conversation about shoes. Well, I remember I told my son not to argue about this. So I ended up turning back around and I noticed that my son was no longer in the back seat. So I started asking very frantically, "Where is my son?" And Obama kind of responded in a, it was like he was taunting me. He was like, "Oh, your son is no longer here. He must have disappeared." It was like he knew where he was, but he was taunting me. And so I kept asking, "Where is my son? Where is my son?" And then all of a sudden the car stopped. And I remember I got out of the car, and I remember it was a black SUV. And I got out of the car and I was yelling for my son. I was calling his name. And I couldn't see him and he wouldn't respond. And I just began to panic, like, "Where are you? Like, where is my son?" And as I was looking, I noticed that there were shoes everywhere. I mean, just shoes, hundreds of shoes everywhere on this street. And I kept looking and I noticed that there were clothing everywhere, just clothing just scattered abroad all over the place. And I ended up finding this. I saw these families of people. They were they were just almost like they were paralyzed, like they were in complete shock. And I remember I ran into this one woman. She was having a conversation with this other lady, and I asked her. I said, "Why are all these shoes out here?" And she said, "The rapture happened." And she said, "I'm sorry." And I was like, "No, this can't be happening. No, I'm not supposed to be here." And I remember I just started frantically just moving around this street, just trying to find out why I was still, like, it just didn't make sense to me. I kept saying to myself, "No, no, I'm not supposed to be here. I'm supposed to be up there." And so I remember I looked up into the heavens and I could see these angels, or it was something that was, it was like they were kind of caught in between the spirit realm and the natural realm, but I could see them still kind of moving in the air. It was kind of weird. I can't explain it, but I was raising my hands up and I'm like, "No, I'm supposed to go up there. I'm supposed to be there too. I'm not supposed to be here." And as I was raising my hands, this it was like it was a flood of fish, what looked like fish, baby fish, like they was just flooding from the heavens, just pouring down. And I was looking, and the closer I looked, I noticed these weren't regular fish. These were like demonic shark looking things. it really creeped me out. And I put my hand down because they were hitting up against my hand because I had my hand extended out. And these were like very demonic looking sharp faces. I mean, it was very creepy. And as I was looking, I saw this man. It was a white man. He had a demonic shark head on his face, but he had a human body. And I just remember feeling fear, like, oh my gosh, like this can't be happening. I'm not supposed to be here for this. I'm supposed to be up there. And I remember I just kind of froze. I just kind of stood there. And I looked back up in the heavens again, and I noticed there was an angel. It was like she was looking for somebody. And she turned around and she looked at me, and she had this serious face, this look on her face, like she needed to hurry up. And, you know, she had to hurry up because the time was like almost coming to an end where she had to get back up there. And she saw me and she hurried up because I had reached my hand back up when I saw the angel, like just hoping that she was coming for me. And when she looked at me, she reached her hand out, and I grabbed my hand, and she pulled me. And as I was grabbing onto her hand, it was like I could feel the power coming from her end. And it was like my whole body was just sucked up. Like I could feel the pressure hitting up against my body as I was being sucked up into this air. And then the scene changed, and it was like I saw a background of like it looked like fire. It was a background of fire, but I could see these words that's going by real fast, and I was trying so hard to read these words, but I couldn't read them. But I remember I remember reading something like I think I saw Most High, and it was oh gosh, I just said what it was. I was talking to a friend of mine. Man, I can't think of it, but it was something that I read. But anyway, that was pretty much the vision. Now, you guys, before I literally woke up, I could feel my spirit going back into my body. Like it was like my body jolted. I could feel it, and it freaked me out because I could feel myself like tossing and turning, and I finally woke up and I realized I was in my bedroom. You guys, I got 2 minutes. I'm going to try to explain this real fast. What I felt in that moment of feeling like I was left behind, that was the most scariest feeling that I have ever experienced in my life. I felt like I wasn't going. Everybody was in a panic. It was like a quiet panic because you could see it on their faces. They knew the rapture had happened, and it was like they were just lost. But I'm like, I'm not supposed to be here. I'm supposed to be up there. So it was like the Lord allowed me to feel what it will be like to not go in the rapture. Now, here's a quick thing I'm going to say. I always pray and ask the Lord, let me be found worthy to escape. Let me be found worthy to escape what's coming. The Lord allowed me to experience what I am actually praying about, because you don't fully understand what it's going to be like to be left behind. So this was a powerful warning. It shook me to my core. This vision shook me to my core. But praise God, that angel came for me. And I'm telling you, that was the realest rapture dream I have ever experienced in my life. So you guys, God is warning us. Time is short, you guys. Time is short. He is coming. Do you hear me? He is coming. So please get your life together. Get your heart right. Stop playing, because he's coming quicker than many of us think. This was so real. I felt my spirit go back into my body. That was real. So I love you all. I had to share this with you all. God bless you. I love you all. If I receive anything else, I promise I will let you all know. God bless you. Shalom.